Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, powered by FanDuel Sportsbook.
All right, thanks a lot, Ken, and thank you for tuning in to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, powered by FanDuel Sportsbook. And you can give us a call tonight on the Borders and Borders hotline. 412-575-2600 is the number. I'm Rich Walsh. I'll be joined by Chris Mueller in just a matter of moments on the 93.7 The Fan Cam. Looking pretty nice here tonight. No pink or purple jacket, but you got a nice red T-shirt on underneath. I saw from your Twitter picture, Chris.
Yes, and I decided to have my eyes closed, which is what the Penguins looked like in their own defensive zone for the entirety of tonight. Just a bunch of guys skating around with their eyes closed, hoping something good would happen. Really wretched, atrocious effort from the Penguins. So that's the first thing on my mind. In fact, my eyes were also closed because I wanted to avert them and not watch that game once it got to about 3 or 4-0.
Yeah, you know, I wanted to ask you, thought that Malkin, this can go two ways, and it went the other way. I thought he would actually give this team a little spark getting back in the lineup, but obviously not. This Penguins team did not look like a team tonight. And what scares me is, you know, maybe guys play differently now that Malkin's in the lineup because he's the big star.
I mean, I don't read that much into it, that second part there. Chris Crosby's the big star, and I know that he plays a 200-foot game, and he's a role model with how defensively responsible he is, and he should maybe win a Selke trophy. But I think having Malkin back, it's just reassimilating a guy into the lineup, and that's always going to be bumpy. I'll choose to look at the bright side here, though, a little bit. This is a bad team that routed the Penguins and made them look really bad, and it was an embarrassing effort. There's part of me that thinks that this veteran of a group, with Mike Sullivan, this battle-tested and respected head coach, this is almost a good thing. This is just going to be more for him to drill into them over these final 3 games. Hey, you can't take a shift off. You can't be lackadaisical in your own zone. You can't be careless with the puck, because even a bad team that's completely in a spiral can beat you and make you look really bad. So I think this could be one of those teachable games that's kind of a nice refresher and an object lesson in what happens when you don't play system hockey.
Can Malkin be the teammate that they need? I think that's the big question right now. Can he be a team player?
I mean, yes. So wait, let me ask you.
Well, I'm just
what in
asking
his
because
background suggests that he's not one?
Well, there's times that he goes out and freelances on his own, a bunch of turnovers. You look what he does on the power play, which has struggled. They've been pretty good on the power play without him. Maybe at their best, I think they've been scoring at almost a 28% clip. You put him on it, he tries to thread the needle on passes. He holds the puck too long. I mean, sometimes he's a detriment to this team.
They scored a power play goal, and he had an assist, a secondary assist on their first goal of the night. Now, granted, that was just to make it 4-1, but I will say this. I was a proponent of keeping Jared McCann up there on the top power play unit, but it's pretty obvious that Mike Sullivan has done the calculation here and has decided that you get Malkin some points. He sees the puck maybe go in the net once or twice. That gets him going at even strength. I've never thought of him as a bad teammate or anything like that, in the sense that he goes out on his own. If anything, I think his greatest sin at times is that when he gets frustrated, he tries to do too much, and that results in him lugging the puck when he shouldn't. But I don't ever think it's born out of malice with him. If nothing else, I think it's just born out of frustration sometimes. So if the frustration comes from not scoring points, then I guess that's the argument for getting him on the power play and hoping that he has some success on the score sheet, and then he's going to give you more everywhere else.
Yeah, I didn't really want to infer that he's a bad teammate. I know he's not a bad teammate at all. I just was saying that sometimes he can go out on his own, and he might not be the team kind of guy that you want the way they were playing.
He's not as disciplined a guy as Crosby.
Yes.
When you're putting him up against Crosby, he's never going to be the disciplined kind of 200-foot player. At his best, he will be for long spurts of games when he knows he needs to be. The thing about Malkin is this. Everyone's always going to look at him, not critically, but they're going to say, hey, he's not Sid. He has little warts that look a lot worse because the greatest player of his generation is the top-line center on this team. I'll tell you this much about Evgeny Malkin. They're not going anywhere in the playoffs unless he has a big postseason. They can make a run all the way to the Stanley Cup if the guy looks like a force of nature and a top 10 player in the league. But if it comes out like Evgeny Malkin last year in that brief 4-game embarrassment, they're going to be done pretty quickly. He's that pivotal and that important to what they want to do.